I'll start off saying it was a good game, exactly what we were looking for. This is a game that'll help us get ready for Houston just because of the intensity and the level of play of the Japanese teams, their style of football, and the way they kind of see the game and think things through. It makes it very challenging for us, and we were able to respond in a very positive way toward the end of the game. And we did that also last weekend, so it's moving in the right direction, and we're going to take a lot out of that. So we enjoyed it very much. I thought that was a game that it was the momentums, right? We would attack for a while, then they would attack, and it kind of worked out where it was entertaining for the fans, and that's exactly what you want. So leave it at that.
All right. I'm going to start us off.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon, and Albertin. We have been talking about this friendly for weeks. What was the biggest adjustments to face the Red Diamonds, and I did not follow after this?
So one of the biggest adjustments was we knew they were going to keep the ball and be able to really move quickly off the ball, short passes, good combinations, players showing it into certain pockets, and it was making sure that we were aware of that, being able to track runners, but at the same time we wanted to make sure that we kept the ball and that we could expose them in certain areas of the field with some of our athleticism and speed and the quality that we have. And I think you saw that on both sides. So they were definitely dangerous when they got into their groove, and we were also when we started playing our game. So it just depended on who was dominating at what time. But that was really the adjustment, is their quickness and how they move the ball around. Something that we're continue to work on, and we're going to continue getting better.
Albertin, second friend in the franchise, Barcelona last year, now Japan. What is the difference we give these two teams? And also, by the way, congratulations for you both, Caroline.
The difference between the two, first of all, Barcelona is just a historic team, right? One of the best teams in the world, and I thought we played them very well last summer. And the Red Diamonds are also a very talented group, and I thought we also matched up well against them. So the fact that we can play against some of the best teams from around the world is it's a positive.
La última en español y voy a terminar con Caroline. Albertin, ya se jugó el de Barcelona el año pasado, ahorita en el Japón, regresan a otra temporada. ¿Qué es lo más importante que te llevas de tu jugar con el City, ahora con Japón, para regresar otra vez a calentar de los casos?
Lo más importante es que podemos jugar y venir y jugar muy bien después de estar abajo, porque hoy estamos bajo 2-1, la semana pasada estábamos bajo 1-0, y de verdad es la mentalidad que tuvimos esta semana, y eso lo va ayudar mucho para el próximo juego, porque ahora tenemos una mentalidad que sí sabemos que podemos ganar, que podemos meter goles, que podemos venir de estar abajo en el juego, y eso es lo que nos va a ayudar mucho en el segundo tiempo de la temporada.
Caroline, this is my last question is for you. This is the first time you're facing Japan. How do you manage the emotion, the stress, adjusting your day style for this international ready, and give that a good birthday?
First off, they're a fun team to play, just a different style. They definitely pushed us, but it was in a good way. I feel like we learned a lot of things. But just moving forward, just learning from the way that they played, how quickly they played. They had a lot of triangles, played quickly out of things. I think we have a lot to learn from that. But moving forward, just kind of taking the next step from here. But thank you.
How helpful couldn't you be this music? So this was a big weekend. Then you saw the Euro that the way that become final of Europe playing is point. How do you feel matches like this, friendly like this, help to grow winning football around?
I think it's so important that these games happen throughout the entire year, especially when you have different styles of football, right? And there's no one way of playing. It's all about really taking what a certain country does, right? And making that the best that you can out of it, right? So this is why we really I enjoy the type of football that Japan plays, that Spain plays, because they keep the ball, right? And they make you really work, but they're always thinking and finding the triangles, finding space. But again, it doesn't always help you when it matters, right? Look at what happened today. Spain, you could say, outplayed England in the Euros, outshot them, got into the box, I think 60-something times compared to England's maybe 15 or 18. But yet, England won the game, right? So it's anytime that this happens, it just allows fans to see, look, it's football, it's beautiful, it can be played in so many ways. It's just make it your own and enjoy it while we can.
Margot, first, they mentioned that the biggest thing their adjustment that they need to adjust to was the speed of the league and the players. How do you think they adjust to you guys, and how was that kind of the goal and some of the lineup that you had today? Was it trying to utilize your guys' speed?
Well, at the beginning of the game in our locker room, the message to the team was, look, we want to continue to improve on our football, right? Which is keeping the ball, playing similar to the way they play. But our strength was going to be our speed. Let's use our speed. Let's get in behind. Let's attack down the wide channels, because that's what we knew we were going to be dangerous, right? So it was a fun game in that way, because you could see the type of football that we're trying to play. But then if we add our athleticism and speed, if it all comes together, that's when we can be very dangerous, because we do have that pace that can hurt you in an instant. And they play and they get numbers as a group, and it makes it difficult. But really enjoyed it.
Caroline, when did you notice that's the way their style plays compared to the rest of the NWSL play?
They're very quick. Very quick in small places. 1-2 touches and then they're out the opposite side. Like you said, like they move as a unit. So like that's very difficult to play against, especially if you're trying to high press and you get played out. And then next thing you know, you're making a hard run to your 18 because you know they're getting into our box. But just respecting that and understanding when to step and when not to, because they're a difficult team to play. And you have to respect what they're good at.
Hi, name is Edison Bukti here. So we see like a very late goal today that happened 9 minutes Kennedy, and you mentioned like last week it is like it's in there as well. So a question is like what have you done to what have you spoken to players to keep the mentality and asking them not to give up either the very end on pitch?
So it's been a process, and that's taken time, and it's more of them believing. So when you're a new team, you have a lot of doubts on certain things, and also who's going to step up, who's going to take that moment and say, I'm going to do this for our team. But it can't just be one player. Can it be a collective group effort? And that's what's happened in this last month and a half or so in our training sessions, and then how they carry themselves. They're starting to believe. And we went through this last year. So as a coach, I was like, wait, I thought we had it at the end of the season and it's just going to carry over. But we were just missing it a little bit, and they're starting to feel it. And that's why I thought we had a great performance last weekend, and we're able to come back. And then today as well, because those last 15 minutes, I thought we were very aggressive. And when we came out for the water break, you could see some of them were like, their heads are down, they're exhausted, they're tired. It's tough to play against a team like this because you're chasing for so long. So there's two things. You can either, hey, let's find a way, we're going to dig deep down and have the mentality and prove to ourselves that we've overcome that, we've taken this next step. And they did. And that's why my message was to them after the game. And that was very impressive. And that's a step in the direction that we need to have a good second half of the season.
So just going on, Asa and Rachel were there.
Both of them had pretty good performances, though, from the rail score. What do you have both of those two players going to bring back from the English?
Goals. Goals. Sometimes it's good for them to go back and play with their national team, see their family, and I mean, it's a long ways from home for them. And we've experienced this in the past. When they come home, when they come back, they're just a little bit more relaxed. They're like, okay, look, they appreciate everything they do here and that they have, and it translates. And what we want them to be is just relax, enjoy the football that we're trying to create. And I say score goals here in front of you. I'm not going to tell that to them, because you don't want to say that in front of forwards all that often, because it gets in their head. Yeah. So we just hope, like, look, they scored at such a high level, and come and do your thing. That's really the message. Just relax and enjoy it.
All right. Any other questions? And that's it. We are back to regular season play next Saturday right here against Houston Dash. Thanks, everybody.